BroadbeltSpeaX.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that is
the lesson.
Yeah, the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
To see where you are. Did you come up a notch in your faith within yourself?
I sure did. I should be depressed right now. I should be in super depression right now.
Yeah. Then, but you look at yourself and be like, oh, you're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Any other time I would have been like losing it.
Yeah. In the corner somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the corner.
Yeah, but I still got bills, man. This stuff is still coming.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, dang, man, I want to do this. Because my core, I know I'm a healer. I know what my calling is. But it's like, healing and wellness is hard to sell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to sell.
But sometimes it's, like you said, with the position that you are in now, like it's sometimes, the universe like forces you into it because it knows that's what you should be doing. And as long as you had that 9 to 5, that was that safety net.
Yeah.
And it was like, sometimes that takes that focus away.
Right.
So now you're focusing more on it, even though you're feeling the pressure. Because I know like that account starts to dwindle because like you said, you still get bills and you're like, okay, but that's sometimes the inspiration and motivation you need to make it work. So
that's true.
I think it's
because I start coming up with new things to do every day.
Yeah.
I'm constantly posting something. I'm sat here and spend hours doing. So it's gonna pay off. I know it's gonna come.
It is. And just the mindset.
Right.
You know,
it's different.
Now when you got into healing with the sounds, what's the name of your
intuitive hands?
You about to get it going.
Yeah, I think he's recording. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, what is that?
Okay. It usually does. I just want to sure.
Yeah, what I was asking was when you got into healing with the sounds, what prompted you to go into the area? Because I want to make it known the way I know you is from the acting world,
right?
Doing production.
Okay.
So yes, we have a mutual, associate for you, I guess. Saeed, right? Yeah.
Because
we had
there's something. Okay.
I love our story because
the first thing you said, I didn't have nothing to do with it.
I was on your side, girl,
because it was a mess.
Yeah.
It hurt, man.
It did. It hurt me. So I know
because he was like family, and every time he called me, I was there.
Yeah.
You know, and for that level of deception, I was just like, my kids are around you.
Yeah. So, but that was how I approached you at the time, and then we started building our own separate relationship off of that. Because I was like, I love Katrina, and I felt a certain type of way, like
it was
she might not like me.
I didn't know what to think. I didn't understand what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't.
Yeah,
still don't.
Well, maybe one day that will be resolved, but if not, oh well. But when I like I was saying, I know you from that world of acting, and you was always an entrepreneur selling your jewelry. I think that's when
that was the first, at the Artist Block. That was my first vending event, and I brought my daughter.
Yes,
were you there? Because you look familiar, but I know we haven't like officially met.
Yeah, it could
and
be.
I couldn't pinpoint it.
Yeah, because I've been there a bunch of times.
Okay, that may be how
for different events and everything.
So. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was the vending event. I was trying to think, did I put that vending event on? Was that the?
I think you did because you looked like you were pretty active in it.
Yeah, I think that's when I first got into it, and Darlene was trying to ease me into it. Shout out to Darlene. She was just like, "You can host these events."
I remember her.
You remember Darlene?
Because she was egging Lissa on at the turntables. You know, Lissa got up there. It's like,
was Darlene on the turntables?
No, my daughter. She may have been
got on turntables.
She may have been like 11 or 12.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember that really well. Yep. So that was the first time I got into hosting vending events. And then when you showed up, and like I said, from there on, I was like, I got to build my own relationship with her outside of that connection. And then the next time that I kind of ran into you and was talking with you, I still didn't know that you was getting into your healing space.
Girl, I didn't either.
So tell me how that happened.
Girl, my story is long. It's long. Because when you go into it, you don't really know that you're going into it. When I went into it, I didn't know I was. Some people intentionally go into a spiritual journey where I just fell into it.
So, real quick before you finish, was it, so were you already spiritual at the time or no?
Looking back, very much so, but I didn't know it.
Okay.
Even as a child. I've always been an empath. I've always been able to see spirits, but my mom told me I was crazy. You ain't seeing no ghosts. You know how our parents were. You ain't seeing no ghosts.
Yeah.
And the dreams that I would have, they were so vivid. They were real. I wake up and I would have like little, like they were so real. And I would wake up screaming, "Should I get over them? There ain't nothing but no dream. Ain't no boy in your window." Yes, it was. You know, I would see it happening, and then it would happen in my real life. Like it was a lot. So looking back, a lot of my past makes sense.
Okay.
So yes, I guess the long-winded. You got to shut me up sometimes. I'm long.
No. That's why you're here.
Yeah,
to speak on it.
Okay.
So you looking back, you was there. You already had that within you, and now your path has pushed you into actually performing for other people.
Right.
Okay.
But I had to go through it all. I'm the kind of person that has to experience things before I can give the advice. I won't even give advice if I haven't been through it, or something. Like, I'm not the do as I say, not as I do parent. And I'm not the friend that's going to say, well, this is what I think I would do. No, I ain't got time for that. I don't want nobody coming back to me. Well, Katrina, you said, you know, and I have nothing to back it up. So I always speak from experience. Like, I won't even post anything on social media without experiencing it or using it or watching it first. You know, because whether you realize it or not, people are watching you. They're taking your word for whatever you're posting or saying. Yeah. So I've always been that way. And for me, it started in 2016.
Okay.
Started in 2016. And it really just came from me just hating the space that I was in. I was tired. I was tired of being angry. My upbringing kind of sucked. My stepdad was a constant trigger. They wanted me there every freaking Sunday. And like you said, I was doing all the acting, all the modeling and stuff, taking my kids everywhere with me because they would not help me. Their dad lives in Greensboro with us and does nothing. And I'm just like, I have no help. And I just got tired of constantly being triggered by these people. So I confronted my dad because we were never able to really talk. And that was where my shadow work started without me knowing I was doing shadow work. Because it was going back into my childhood, trying to figure out where it started. And why. Because there's a lot of reasons that we are as adults the way that we are because of the crap that happened to us in our childhood. And I always say that we, like our generation, is already doing better than our mothers and our fathers and grandfathers and whatnot because we do this and we talk. And there's more at our doorsteps now.
And I'm
more accessible.
I have seen like the older generation, they'll ask me for advice. More so than me going to them for advice. And I believe that's because we have started doing our own work and they're acknowledging us doing it.
Like my mom is like tapping at my doorstep with it, but I know to help my mom, I have to be in a certain space too. Because her trauma is my trauma. And I'm just like, oh shit.
But the fact that you was able to, because we talked about on the show so many times, understanding your trigger and how so many of our triggers stem from our childhood and the traumas that we've gone through, but it's identifying it, acknowledging, accepting it, and then being willing to make those changes. But you have to do it because, like you said, you want to, not because someone is seeing some behaviors in you and they're saying, oh, you're acting this way or that way, because then I feel like personally, then when you're doing it for someone else, it's just temporary. But then once you get to the point to where you're like, I'm fed up with this behavior.
I ain't doing it no more.
Right. Is that like you said you would get to a place where you was, angry and those are the things, and that was what spearheaded you to be like, oh, I'm about to make some changes. And then I love listening to you when you say you confronted certain individuals because that's the only way. Because without confronting as I say, going straight to the horse, having that conversation, you're making assumptions. And I was telling you, when we make assumptions, our assumptions benefit our way of thinking. Because you're not speaking to that person.
No, you're not. You're just giving your opinion. But it's not your opinion. Because I didn't go to my stepdad for any kind of apology. I just had to get it off my chest. Because every time we had an issue, because I'm like the black sheep, because I say it. So they can't stand it. Anyone that's speaking up for themselves or for others around them, they automatically label you as difficult and complicated. And Trent is always doing this. But what did you do to make Trent do that? You know what I'm saying? It's like people love seeing the disease, but they never take a look at the symptoms. It's always, Katrina, you just blew up. Yeah, I blew up. I got sick of the shit. Yeah. I'm sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. You can be yourself.
It's like you get tired of it, you know, and that's always been my MO in my family, and they refuse to see who I've become because they're so used to that person. It's like when you start going down your journey, you encounter one of two people. One, they're like, oh my gosh, you're killing off the person I love so much. Then you have the other one that's like, how dare you? Yeah. You were down here and I was up here. And I liked you better when you were below me.
Always.
When you was
and
broken.
It's always your
I like you better at your broken state.
Yes, you are better. I like you better because it makes me feel freaking better.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was that friend. Because of my childhood. I'm like, I'm holding on to people that just use me for my energy and not realizing it because it was always one-sided. You know, they're always venting off to me and they feel great afterwards. But I'm depressed for days after. It's not even my freaking trauma. You know, and when you're that kind of friend, you confuse it for a real friendship.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And one thing to just kind of taking what you just said, when you start making those changes and you get to that level of self-awareness, you slowly start to shed those people you thought were friends of yours. So like you said, they only looked at you for what they was able to get out of you.
Or they shed themselves.
Right. And that's not a friendship. And then people like to box you in. I had a conversation I was in Chicago some years ago. I was having a conversation with someone and they were saying to me, you changed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like you, I'm very direct. I'm just, as I've gotten older, I've learned to be more tactful with it. So I'm talking to her and I'm saying, no, I said, you just only like me in that area. And now I said, I'm still the same. Nothing has changed. I said, now just because I'm not performing this way, now something has to be wrong with me. Why can't I be, I'm so diverse. I'm more than just this one little section.
Right.
So, and it's getting people to understand that. And it starts with, as you doing, as from what I'm hearing from you, with all the communication that you're doing. But then you can't change the people. So if they're not willing to accept, because again, they were so happy with Katrina being, did I say it right?
Yeah,
Katrina,
you did.
Being in this box where, like you said, where they had more control, or this is how they like to see you, and they seeing you grow and expand and become so much more. And they like, wait a minute, slow down, because now the jealousy and animosity starts.
Right.
Because they're comparing themselves to you.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's self-defeat when you do that. And they're like, damn, she doing that, she doing that. And like you said, they don't know your struggles. They don't know the things you got going on.
They really don't. They don't see what I go through every day.
No.
It's hard when you start making changes because you rethink everything you've learned, everything you see. Nothing is the same. It's like a complete rebirth. And that's what I went through last year. For me, it was like a rebirth because that hysterectomy took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I used to be in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
And I done gained like 40 pounds because I'm just not able to get in there like I used to.
I hated that for you.
Yeah, thank you. It was rough, man. It was
a lot
hard.
of women that I know around our age, they're like getting their wounds taken out. I'm like, what is happening? It's a weird space to be in. So is that what kind of made you go into?
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
That's where the healing portion of me started.
Okay.
Because for me, it wasn't that I couldn't have kids anymore. I got 2 kids of my own. My kids are 20 and 16 now, but I'm literally everybody's mama. You know, I'm everybody's mama. I got kids everywhere. So I'm not really tripping off that part. So I went through it for like a day. You know, boom, it's over. But it was the spiritual side that got me. Because I let go of something that was important. And I could feel myself getting emotional thinking about it.
Yeah, because I was going to add, if you don't mind, I wanted to hone in on that too, because I think that's an important subject for women.
It is.
Because that is such an attachment of who we are, is having that wound space. Do you feel like, let me see how I want to word this, because I have people around me that's going through the same issues, and they're trying to, well, I kind of told them that they may want to take a holistic approach first because they are their doctor done told them this. So they're like, this is what they get ready to do. And I was like, just kind of just try the holistic space. Did you try a holistic space, or was you just,
I told them what I wanted. And this is why, because the women in my family die of cancer. They drop like flies.
So you was like, I'm not trying this.
I'm not going there.
Approach.
I ain't got time. You know, because for me, 2 of my aunts have tried to burn them off because I had fibroids, very big fibroids stuck in my uterine line and a cyst on my right ovary. So everything was hurting.
No, that's
you know?
Yeah.
And I kept going to the doctors. I went to 3 different doctors. And they gave me no kind of solution. One doctor was like, yeah, you know, you got blood in your urine, but it's okay. What? They do not care about us. They don't care. And I had to self-diagnose. And you know where it came from? That show called Harlem with Megan Good.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl had fibroids.
Yeah.
And she kept passing out. She almost died.
Yeah.
And she was having the exact same symptoms that I was having. And that's
I
the
remember
only
that
reason
episode.
why I knew.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I went in there and said, this is what's wrong. And they finally gave me the treatment that I needed to find out exactly what was wrong. And that's what was wrong.
Because if they could have diagnosed it earlier, this could have been.
I could have handled it differently.
Yeah.
But it was so demobilizing. There were days where I couldn't move. And the symptoms only appear when you're on your cycle.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
But I was always on my freaking cycle.
Because that's what I was going to say. It's like you're hemorrhaging.
Yeah, I'm just constantly bleeding.
Yeah.
You know, so those, it was always there. I was in constant pain to the point where I could not move. And the last time I went to the gym real hard, Jones had to carry me out. I'm sorry. People don't know who that is. That's my man. So he had to carry me out the gym because, you know, we used to go together.
I know.
And I was mad when I couldn't go. I'm like watching him. I'm like, man.
Yeah. It's like, I can't go.
Yeah.
Like,
he used to get going by himself. Right. Because he was like, you don't even feel right because I'm not going with you. That's how often we went together.
Because y'all used to do videos. And
yeah. All types of stuff together. We used to do workout videos together. We used to go to the gym together.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't able to do it. So his hysterectomy time came because I told him what I wanted and the reasons why. Just empty me out. Take it. But I didn't realize how bad it was going to be afterwards. So
that's what. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying both emotionally and physically.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And spiritually.
And spiritually.
That was the most important part.
Yeah.
The physical part, the pain was horrible. The pain meds wouldn't work. And that's actually how I healed myself with crystals. That's how that happened. That's how I did it.
So,
because I was sitting there like, Trina, what are you doing? Because I'm sitting here in all this pain. The meds were not working. So I was in constant pain all the time. And I'm sitting here like, Trina, you got a whole wall of crystals. Why are you not using them? If I were to give the advice to someone else, I'd say, hey, I got what you need. Why am I not helping myself? As healers, as women, we tend to help other people
else first.
And forget about ourselves.
Yeah, I'm learning that too.
So it's hard because by nature we're nurturers. And we automatically give without giving to ourselves.
And it's important for us to have people around us that will tell us, put yourself first, sis. Remind us, because we will get all into like, oh, I don't want to step on their toes. Or
exactly.
You know,
it's important, and I'm grateful to have him in my life.
Yeah, and I think especially
because it was important.
You become a mother, you're used to putting yourself second behind your kids. So I could see.
Well, you're told to.
Yeah.
That's what I was automatically saying. Even before I was a mom, I remember doing it like that. That was kind of how it was trained.
Me too.
Yeah.
Trying to take care of your brother.
Yep.
All the time. My little brother, take care of him. Don't let nobody mess with him. You know, so I'm always fighting. You know, this call. To this day, my brother will call me. Finna beat this ass for me. I'm like, Brandon, we ain't kids no more, man. Right. Like the last time he did this, it was like 7 years ago. Yeah. I'm just like, dude, no.
Yeah. You take it up,
you know? And then there are times where I've showed up, Trina, no. So you done got me all hyped up to go over here and do this with the person I don't even like to begin with. And I get over here and you want to get in front of me and push me away. Like, horrible.
Yeah.
But I think that part of that is knowing that I'm going to come.
Yeah, because he's already
he knows. He know that, you know, he didn't see me do some crazy stuff. I used to be a mess. Yeah. And he's just like, I'm gonna get my sister on you. We ain't kids no more.
Yeah.
You know?
Had to put a stop to it.
Yeah, I had to, because he was just Trina. No. No.
So you use the crystals to heal.
Oh, see, I'll go on.
Okay.
I use the crystals. So I was like, Trina, you have what you need to help heal yourself. Because of course, like making the jewelry, I always use it for like basic everyday use. Because that's the only experience I've had with them. You know, stress, anxiety, anger management. You know, making sure I have good empathy for people and unconditional love, stuff like that. but I've never used them for actual pain, but I know that you can. Right. So I've never, I guess, advertised or said, hey, use this for that, because I've never experienced it. So I used carnelian, because I have a large carnelian heart. I used carnelian, golden healer, aragonite, selenite, and then another one. I always forget what it was. It was green, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Now, can we say what they do?
So the carnelian is for all of them are for your sacral chakra to some point, because they'll help heal certain things. Mm-hmm. So carnelian is for our reproductive organs, right? It's for our kundalini energy, our feminine power. Golden healer, of course, is to heal, and it has clear quartz within it. So it's one of our master healers. Selenite is also one of our master healers. Aragonite, I used it for the healing properties and to cover what's needed in case something is coming from outside forces. It's a protector stone. Yeah. And it's that other one I always forget. There was another one that I used, but I forgot what it was. Mm-hmm. So I was working with them consistently, like every few days. And one day I felt the pain come out of my solar plexus. I'm telling you right now, it hurt like hell. It felt like somebody stabbed me straight in my stomach. But it was the last time I felt pain. I haven't felt pain from that ever since. I'll get like little hip pain. You know, it's like one of the side effects. But that's about it. The only thing that I struggle with now is my energy level waking up. I'm used to going. But I felt like that's a consequence for me.
Well, I was told that wound, it does hold a certain amount of energy,
right? That
we pull from,
and it takes. It's that motivation. It's that physical energy, and I lost it, and that was hard for me because I'm just so on the go. You know, and I can't, and I feel like for me it was a consequence. I paid for it. Because everyone around me is like, Trin, you got to sit down. I'm like, man, I ain't sitting nowhere. I ain't got time.
You was on the go. Girl.
You know, I was constantly on the go. Yeah. And I was and I wouldn't sit down.
Yeah.
And I paid for it.
Yeah. Do you see benefits in slowing down too?
Yes. I tell everybody, sit down somewhere. Just sit down. Because this is what I always say, especially to those that are like tapped in spiritually. When we're ignorant and we don't listen to our intuition and we're just, being a rebel or whatever, the consequences aren't that high. But when you tapped in and you still don't listen, you're going to pay for it. It's a consequence.
It's like
because
we know and you still go against it.
Go and listen. You're still going to be a rebel. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick. And for me, that's what it was. Yeah. I didn't sit down when I was supposed to. And I got put down. In the worst kind of way. I could not bathe by myself. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't stand up for more than a couple of minutes. When I say my man was so mad at me, because even my doctor was mad, because I'm just like, I can do this. And I couldn't. One time I caught myself going to the kitchen to make myself something to eat. And I couldn't. And I couldn't. And I collapsed. Because I didn't have strength. It was like I lost all upper and lower strength. Body strength. And just gone. So no more than 2 or 3 minutes. And I was like, you probably smell my dog. He's huge and thinks he's this size.
Real quick.
He's a German Shepherd Cane Corso.
And
then, my daughter bought him and left him with the school.
Was he about one
left him with the school? They always bring a dog
home. The nerve to leave that horse with us. Yeah.
That's a huge dog. How big is he?
He's about 105 pounds.
I don't know. So I had a German Shepherd mixed with an English Mastiff. He got to 125 at his biggest. And when he stood up, I'm 6'3", and he stood up. He was at least 6 feet standing up. It was just like a adult.
It's huge. It's like a person.
Right.
And he thinks he's a man. I'm like, no, you're not. Him and Jones be beefing. I'm like, why are you beefing with the dog? Because I'll pet him and he'll look back at him like
ah.
Yeah. It's so weird. They got beef. It's the weirdest thing.
It's that testosterone.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, she's petting me. That means she ain't petting you.
Right. And so after your you doing self-healing work on yourself, what made you want to advertise that to the public?
Oh, it was like immediate. Because it was kind of public. I made it public because I wanted to bring awareness because I didn't know. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that didn't know. So if what I'm telling someone else or the world, as far as I can reach someone that didn't know, I'm happy with that. Because we as a community need to know more about stuff like this, because they don't care. Like I said, they sent me home with blood in my urine.
Yeah.
There's nothing safe about that. Visible blood. Wow. Not just a little bit in my test. I can see blood in the freaking toilet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just write it off as something.
Yeah, like it's
like, you'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
You go home, just get some
rest.
know,
if she dies, it's another Black woman.
That is horrible.
You're good. You're good.
What happened?
Look, I'm saying we both.
I'm sorry.
So much.
Kurt. It's fun. Kurt,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Look, no.
I'm sure he's not offended.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's just our struggle. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you saying that. I was like, oh shoot.
No.
Yes.
But yeah.
And so once you took it to the public, social
I got a
media,
lot of inboxes.
That's what I was going to ask.
A lot of inboxes that are like, oh my gosh, I might want to go to the doctor. A couple of friends that I think that we have mutual friends of were thinking about or just about to get a hysterectomy. I don't know. I know for a fact that one of them went through with it, but I don't know about the other. I guess I should check on it.
Yeah. Around that time, I knew a couple of people that was, I was just like, what?
The symptoms are real.
Yeah.
It is horrible.
But I did, because a lot of women in my family, on my dad's side, they went through that and had hysterectomy. So about the time we started vending together is when I started doing the yoni scene. And so like it changed everything for me. It changed everything for me. I don't cramp as much. I don't, my cycle went from 5 days to only 3 days. I changed what I was using for my cycle, like the tampons and stuff. I had changed all of that. And so that's
my daughters too.
Yeah. Changed it. Yeah. To make sure it doesn't have bleach in it.
Right.
And that changed everything. And that's what I tell my sister, my niece. It's like, it's what we're putting in us.
Right.
And then our cleaning regimen, baths are very important for women, which we tend to just stand up and take showers now.
Right.
Like just try to take a bath once a week. We're rushing through life.
You're just trying to hurry up and get in and get out.
Yeah. You got to soak that thing.
Yeah.
and put some essential oils in there.
Exactly,
you could go to get some essential oils and they'll give you what it does when you put it in your bath. So I do that as well. But yeah, so it was when it started arriving in my life and all these women that was my age that was going through this. I was like, oh my gosh, like the word needs to come out on how we take care of our wounds.
True.
Because it is, I don't know, it feels like it's almost an agenda for us to go through this to get our wounds taken out. I don't know.
It's like, I feel it's gone.
Yeah.
You lose a piece of you.
And it does something to you mentally.
Right.
And like you said, spiritually.
Brain fog.
Oh, is that a real thing?
I never used to have brain fog.
You...
My first time back on set, I was so disappointed in myself, and I tend to beat myself up because I know my lines, and like, I'm gone. And I know the lines.
You just couldn't
get them out. And I couldn't put them together. I was, I've worked on 2-3 projects at once.
I know.
And I've always had the ability to make sure they were all separate. I never mixed up lines or anything like that. You get that occasional, line or whatever. You need your line real fast, but not like how it was. I'll take something for that now.
Oh, I did say you want to share.
I'm going to share.
Yeah.
So I always keep it with me. Like I'm like a sad waiting,
You said I take something for that now.
Oh yeah.
Is it a herb or is it?
It's all natural.
Oh.
Hawaiian coffee berry superfruit. 10 drops.
And it works.
Brain is like working.
Is that daily?
Just when needed.
Oh, okay.
So if I need to like really focus on something, like when I'm filming, put a couple drops, 10 drops in my water, juice, or whatever.
And it's like almost like caffeine is a stimulant. I
don't even really consider it caffeine. It's just, yes, it has like coffee extract, but it just keeps the brain going. I don't get brain fog when I use it.
That's good.
And it's all natural, so even better.
Exactly. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to always keep track of where we left off, but I do not mind. I don't mind going off the track.
After the crystal.
So then I wanted to know when the sound frequencies came into place.
Reiki actually came first.
Reiki came first.
Because when I was at the flea market in Winston, there was a Reiki. She wasn't currently a Reiki master, but she had a transplant in her throat, right? And she just wasn't into it anymore. And she started making candles that looked like desserts. They looked good. Like you wanted to pick it up and eat it. If I was a kid, I'd have took a bite out of it. And I'm just like, wow. And she said that the girl that she got the implant from used to make candles. That's how transcendent like energy is. Because she got a piece of her. Like, it was crazy. But she was trying to push me into the direction of healing because she just kept telling me, Katrina, you got it. And I'm like, whatever. Right. You know? And then I had a spiritual guide, and he was also a healer. And he just kept saying, Trina, you got to do it. It's like, I feel it in you. You can do it. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it wasn't until after the hysterectomy where I started really looking into it, because that's what prompted the Reiki. And I was looking online trying to find different, courses I can take. And I prefer to take stuff, in person, but there wasn't anything within my reach that I can use. And I didn't have the money to pay for it. And then I came across this girl out of San Diego, where I'm from. And I just connected with her even before I realized where she was from. So it wasn't like, oh, she's from my hometown type thing. I just connected with her, and we were just talking, and we talked for about a good 2 months, just talking. And she offered me the course for free. And she was like, Katrina, I really feel like you're genuine and you can do real work with this. I'm just going to give it to you. So I went through the course with everyone else virtually. So I went through Reiki 1 and 2. There's only 3 levels. Reiki 1 is just the intro. And it gives you the intro, and it teaches you how to perform Reiki on yourself, which was the main reason why I wanted it. So that I can treat my mom and, all these things. And the attunement, I always say it's like infusing yourself with Reiki because you have to be attuned. The first attunement was okay. I was actually kind of cocky with it. I was like, I ain't got no headaches. They're on there just tripping about how their day went and how crazy it was. I was like, okay. All right. But Reiki 2 was how to perform Reiki on others and to do distance work. Because it's energy, I don't have to touch you. It can be done virtually. And I experienced that too, because I did virtual Reiki on one of the students and we saw the same colors. She knew what I was focusing on. Like, it was amazing. It was really cool. But the attunement for Reiki 2 about took me out of here, y'all.
Yeah, I didn't get, I was horrible. In Reiki 2. And I think because I was by myself doing it, I didn't complete it. But that's the part that I was on. It was healing someone from afar. And connected in that space. And then I needed to do certain hours. Like actual hours with a Reiki master.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But 2
was rough. Because it felt like I had blood running through my veins. Y'all. I was like, wow, it's so powerful.
I know.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh my God, it is crazy. Yeah. And you can feel the energy. But once it sat in, I had body aches. I had migraines. I couldn't really see. I was shaking all over. And then I had a freaking panic attack because it was so much happening at once. Like, Jones was like, baby, we got to go to the hospital. What am I going to say?
Right.
Tell you. What a crazy. Tell the doctor.
I was messing around with some Reiki training.
Right. And she gave me an attunement, and now they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. So I can't just go to the freaking ER. So of course I call her. I'm like, Morgan, I don't know what's happening. She was like, Katrina, it's okay. It's just detox. Because, I had already had things going on and my feet were already giving me issues. And it was just, life force can't live in a body that's so congested with stuff.
Right.
And that's what everything was. It was detoxing. And I still experienced the same symptoms on and off for like almost a month. I'm going to say like 3 weeks. But then, gradually it went away. And I was like, this is good, because being a transmuting empath is being able to pick up everyone's energy, but I didn't know how to get it out of me. It just stayed. So I would walk by people, talk to them. God forbid I hold them and hug them, because I'm a hugger, and you're absorbing it all. And I'll be depressed again for days. And it's not even mine.
I stopped hugging as much. once I realized, yes, you can.
God, I can't help it because people need it. It's like I feel so bad for folks sometimes.
That's when it comes to putting yourself first.
But I know how to get it off now.
Yeah.
So for me, it's what used to be a burden is more of a gift now.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to get it all off me, and Reiki taught me how to do that.
Yeah.
So I do use my discernment.
Yeah.
But it's not to where I just won't.
I'm like,
You're like, wait, get away from me.
Because I can't help you in this one moment. So it ain't no need of me doing all of the stuff that comes with me holding, holding you. Yeah. You be exhausted and you go home and I don't like that. And I'm like, I'm not depressed. Like, what?
You like crying,
I don't want that. I don't want that energy. But so once you started the healing on yourself, we're at the sound bowls. When did you start? Did he sneeze?
I don't know what that was.
Did you? What prompted you to implement the sound baths?
Looking into different frequencies. Because when you're on YouTube and you listen to like calming music, I started seeing like hertz. I'm like, what is that? And then a couple of weeks later, my man was like, babe, listen to this. I was like, okay, you know what? This is good. It helped me sleep better. And sometimes I would listen to it before bed, when I wake up in the morning, and it would reset. It would make me feel better. And sometimes it gave me more energy, which made me feel like, okay, because I was already experiencing a lack of energy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into this. But before I actually bought the bowls, I was already researching them for a few months.
Okay.
But they're nowhere near as easy as it looks.
I heard that.
It's not.
It's like I can't make the sound come out.
Right. It's like they have a mind of their own. Like I spent a lot of times with the bowls. They're like my babies. They're like my little best friends and stuff. And sometimes they don't want to play next to each other.
Oh, really?
No, they don't. Because they'll start to buzz real fast. I'm like, damn, what's wrong with you? You ain't got time for no attitudes today. So I'll be like talking to them. And you just have to play them a certain way. And it's really all in the wrist. And it's nowhere near as easy as it looks. But the benefits are so high. Because the body naturally reacts to sound and frequencies. It's just a matter of what level it's at.
They've shown research where certain frequencies, they were showing atoms jumping and stuff. So your cells, like you said, are completely reacting to those frequencies. And once you learn them, you can heal. Just as you're doing, you can do all of those things. So that's amazing. So were you about to say something?
I was going to give an example.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I just had a healing event that I threw a couple of weeks ago called Mindful Energy. And there was a girl there that I've never met before. And the whole experience was new for her. And the sound bath was good. And right after, I did some tuning fork therapy and solfeggio frequency therapies.
What is that?
Those are mainly like medical. Whereas the chakra tuning forks are all attuned for your chakra system. Whereas these forks can do much more.
Okay.
I use 3 in particular. I use 2 that treat the biofields. One is for tissue restoration and the other one is for pain. And I use another one. I can't remember the actual hertz themselves right now. I haven't gotten that far to memorize all the hertz. But one I put directly on the body for pain. For her, I did a chakra scan because we were running out of time. It was my first event I had ever done by myself. So it was a learning experience. So we were running low on time. So I did a body scan with my pendulum. And that was going to let me know which one of their chakras needed help and which ones didn't. So it cut down a lot on time. So for her, everything was good except for her solar plexus, which is her stomach. She was like, wow, how did you know? And I was like, you know what? So basically they were saying that she has or may have some stomach cancer.
Really?
And and that she was experiencing a lot of pain in her stomach. So when I went through with these solfeggio frequency forks just over the biofield, her stomach started to pulsate.
Oh, wow.
And it was just crazy to watch because I had never actually seen it happen like that before. So it was a lot for her and a lot for me too, because I'm still learning stuff. So when I saw it, I was like, wow.
Right.
And when I touched her with one, it was just, they were still just going. I'm like, wow, this is dope, man.
Yeah.
Like we all have the innate power to heal ourselves. It just has to be activated.
Yeah.
Right.
And sound is very important.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it is. I want to say the love frequency is really good. I think that is 528. That's where I started off at in 2018 with the love frequency. But what made me get into frequencies is I would make some rose water. And I found
that too.
And I found out that the rose water is the highest frequency of all flowers, all herbs.
Didn't know that.
So if you have anxiety, so that's how I used to sell it, is when people that had anxiety, they would spray it. It smells great, but it was more so for stress. And that was the highest level, and it was closest to love frequency. So that's when I started realizing the closer you get to the love frequency, the more healing.
Patience.
Yeah. And that space comes open with the sounds and the herbs and things of that nature once you hit after 500.
I can see that.
Frequency. Yeah.
Because whenever someone gets any kind of heart treatment from me, the tears start coming. It always comes. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Roses. I love how roses is connected to, love, Valentine's Day. That was all
so much more.
Well, that is because the rose is the highest frequency closest to love, like out of all the plants.
And that's why it's chosen.
So that's why it was chosen.
That makes good sense.
Right. So a lot of people, if you don't know the origin of like certain things that we celebrate, and we don't know the reason why, but that was the reason why the rose was chosen to give to somebody that you love. Wow. Yeah. This is closest to the love frequency.
In my mind, I was so negative. I was like, just forgive me for what I just did. Take this rose. That's so wrong.
Yes. So I've been following your journey through social media. It's so good to have you here. Because I really, since you don't have your sound bowls, is it the sound bowls or sound bath? I have seen you put.
Well, the sound bowls are the sound bath.
Okay. I don't even want to mess it up,
No, it's okay. But you can catch it anytime. I'm always doing something.
Okay.
Like Tuesday through Friday, I do 4 o'clock, 5-minute sessions. Just in case someone needs something throughout the day, work or something, a little break. Because I sure wish I had some.
I'll share that through our podcast on Instagram.
I'm sorry, does the sound bowls, are they specific to certain chakras, or is all?
I have all 7.
Okay.
Okay,
so they were not cheap.
Yeah, they're not.
They were not cheap.
So it's not like one bowl.
No, I use all of them.
Okay.
So I'm going to go home or go harder. So
yeah.
Go home or go harder.
Yeah.
I like that. So each bowl has a different frequency.
Yes.
Okay.
For that chakra.
Chakra.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The root is the most important. People think they should start at the crown. That's the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
You start at the root.
Them up and looking. Okay. So
you start at the root because it's the most important. You have to think of yourself like you're a tree. Because without them roots, like you're nothing. Because the root is our grounding power.
Yeah, and the root is where most
of our survival instincts.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Everything comes from there.
Mm-hmm. Can you go a little bit into that for those that don't know anything about chakras?
Oh, of course. The chakra system is special, and of course, they're all associated with so many different crystals, and it's kind of hard to pinpoint because your intention with the crystal may not be my intention with a crystal. Mm-hmm. Like say amethyst. Some folks use amethyst for like depression, whereas I use it as a protective barrier. I wear a ring every day, and it's just a protective barrier for me. So my intent with it is different. So when you think about your chakras, and we can start at the root, like I was just saying, there are many chakras that are associated with that. God, there's so many. I'm not even sure if I can go into that right now. Red jasper, tiger's eye.
And where is the root? Like for those that
the root is in the hips. It's in the hip and everything below.
What is the color for it? I know each one.
Red.
Okay.
So the color for root is red. So that is our survival instinct. It is our grounding power. It's what keeps us balanced. So before you work on anything, it's recommended that you work on the root first because it helps everything to open up. And then you have your sacral that's right below the belly button, and it's where your reproductive organs are. So that for women in particular is our kundalini energy, motivation, creativity, So when you're lacking a lot of things like that, you always have to think, okay, what do I need to work on? That's what that's for. And the color associated with that is orange. And then you have your solar plexus, which is your stomach, and that is your decision-making power.
Yeah, your gut.
Yeah, your gut. That's your gut instinct. And I always try to, differentiate the difference between your gut instinct and your intuition because they're very different. Because your gut instinct is going to give you a yes or a no. It's your immediate yes or no. And your intuition is going to give you instructions, whether it be in a dream or it be something that's showing you something. It's literal instructions. So your gut's going to say, no, don't do that. Your intuition is going to tell you why. Gotcha. And there's always a really interesting way to tell what your gut instinct is telling you, your yes or your no. Because you think of something that makes you really happy. And you think about internally where that feeling goes and where it stops. And then you think about what makes you very angry and sad. Where does that go? That's your no. And I guess when you think of it that way, and for me, it's never stirred me wrong. Because it's going to give you that immediate yes or no.
Yeah.
So moving on to the heart. That is our love, our unconditional love, our patience, our empathy. And the color associated with that is green. I'm sorry. The color for solar plexus is yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
And the color for heart is green. The throat chakra, we always have problems with that. Because we as people have a hard time expressing ourselves because we're always told that we shouldn't because we're problem starters. So as an adult, and I can say as soon as I moved out, I said whatever the hell I wanted to say.
Right.
I said, you're not about to keep silencing me, because I did that for a long time. And I quickly learned that there's a huge consequence to that. Yeah, I tried to kill my stepdad. Like really tried to kill him. Like ran after him with a butcher knife, kind of killed him. But it was years of suppression. It's just forever just holding everything in. Like for him, it was a lot because he was verbally abusive. So he would tear me down every day, which is worse. And that's how I'm able, and unfortunately, I can compartmentalize very well. Because if someone's tearing you down in the mornings before school and you got to put on a mask, you get used to doing it. So I do it by default.
Right. And you don't even have to.
You don't even have to. Yeah. Unfortunate side effect.
Yeah.
It's like trauma response.
Yes, but you understand that's the thing. You're aware of it. You identify. So now you have control over that, where I find so many people out here walking around struggle with that self-awareness. So they react and do things that are not beneficial to them. And they always wonder, why am I in the same position? Why are things not working out for me? That's why I love to talk about the chakras and the sound bowls and how all of that, from where you started to currently where you are, and how you continue to grow.
It all makes sense.
It does.
It all makes sense now.
But the last thing I would say, because I'll let you finish the chakras, but you mentioned earlier that you're changing, and that it's a lot of work and it takes time. And there's something I always say, who you were before took decades, of you getting there. So any changes that you're looking to make, it takes time.
Take time.
And the challenge is the commitment to yourself.
It's constant lessons.
Yeah.
Constant lessons. And I have to refer back to my hysterectomy because that's where it started for me. Like that actual transformation period. Yeah. Because I kept saying, I got to get back to this. I got to get back to this. But if I'm demanding this out of life, and if I'm moving in the direction of a healer, I can't be the person I was. And that's where the depression came from, because I was trying to figure it out. But once I finally got it, and I was like, that's because I'm trying to get back here.
Girl, and
but
that's a mourning.
She had to be burnt up.
Right.
She had to go.
And then that's a mourning process that you have to go through.
Exactly. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
It's like the phoenix.
Yeah. And then I had the nerve to lock my hair. I mean, girl, that is not a cute thing.
I seen the whole thing. I was like, look at Katrina.
It just happened. Like, I was just going to add on to it. But it's something about the journey that I just said, I can't do it. In the place that I was spiritually, I couldn't. And I was just like, oh, this is ugly ass stage. And it was not cute. Because I'm used to, being put together.
I know.
And it was not.
Yeah.
It was not.
But that was your journey.
But it was the journey. Yeah.
And so you said it's the throat chakra.
The throat chakra. So yes, that is our ability to communicate. It's what gives us the discernment of how to handle people. because you can't just speak to everyone the same way. You're going to have people that you got to just say it to.
Yeah.
You know,
you can say that 100 times.
Yeah.
That is so important in any aspect of life. Intimate, friendship, it doesn't matter. Professional. I love you say that because people struggle.
Yeah. You don't know what how they grew up, how they were spoken to.
Yeah, just because I'm a certain way, by nature, we speak to others the way we want to be spoken to.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you said, some people you got to be direct with. Some people you got to go around the world with to get to it. Some people you got to be a lot more passive with. Some people you have to talk to them about their whole day and get them comfortable before you even venture into the actual topic. You spend 10 minutes just talking about other stuff.
Right.
And then you lead into what you actually need to talk to them about. So, yeah, go ahead.
Because that happened last night. Yeah. I had a client last night. She had a consultation. And towards the end of it, I asked her, I said, so what is your intuition telling you now? And she starts going into, you know, how she feels and her feelings. And when she got finished, I said, I'm going to ask you again because I didn't ask you that.
Right.
I asked you what your intuition was telling you, but it's how you say it.
Very true.
You know, because my tone didn't come across as confrontational. It didn't make it sound like I was trying to make her feel stupid. It's just the fact that I didn't ask you that. I asked you what your intuition told you.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain people, after talking to them, I'll stop them. I didn't stop. Shut up. I didn't ask you that. But some people need to be spoken to that way. You know, like my band called himself, you know, helping me, you know, when I was trying to figure out like different workouts to do. And he was training me, but he was talking to me like I was a recruit, and it triggered me because my dad used to scream at me in my face like I was a recruit. And I was like, homie, you can't talk to me like that. This ain't gonna work. Because that's how he trains, because he's a Marine. So how he was trained is how he trains other people. And I'm just like, you can't do that with everybody because everyone doesn't respond to that. You see how quick I was like, hold on. Who are you talking to?
Exactly.
Like you can't do that because you don't know who you're triggering. Like I used to match energy. I was the kind of person who was like, how you approach me is how I'm gonna approach you.
Right.
But now I try to give people grace. And that comes with growth, man. Because I'm like, I deserve some cookies. Because
the way you said, I give people grace, and then you kind of rolled your eyes like,
I don't want to, because I really don't. I don't want to give grace, but I'm like, I don't know what she's been through. I don't know what he's been through. Right. I don't know the kind of day they're having, and the way things are, and it's a lot going on. So you have to give grace to people.
Yeah, and I know for me is, I am who I am. So unless I want to come out of that to address something, then I don't. And it doesn't matter who the person is as far as allowing them to take me to that place to where I get like that. But that's part of, you know, the growth.
Right.
You said. Like I saw it too when you were saying, you said grace. Because it's almost like you pictured some people.
I did.
Like,
I did.
Lucky, I'm a different person today.
Man, that's what I'm saying. And I want to touch on that too. Because when it comes to our triggers and stuff, like we're never going to get rid of our triggers.
No.
It's just a matter of the fact that we handle them differently. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I was a mess.
I love just hearing you speak about it because we've talked about it.
It's so real because I'm still the same person I was.
Right.
I just don't get there as quickly. Like I'm a Gemini, so there's more than 2 in here.
I'm a Gemini.
So you already know there's 5 of me in here. Like, and I've always known that, but I don't give them names because in terms of psychology, once you start giving different personalities names, they start to take over for real.
Yeah.
So I number them 1 through 5.
Okay.
People say to me, like, they'll give me different names. Like they'll say, am I dealing with Martin today? Am I dealing with BroadbeltSpeaX today? I'm dealing with Trey today. Like,
I don't know. Because that's too much for me. So, the actual names, it's like when you're naming like babies in the NICU, they're baby 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. They don't give them names because the attachment is too real.
Oh, it can be an order. I call it personality order instead of disorder. The only way it's a disorder is if you don't have control over it. Once you learn, because I think everyone have personality, different personalities. Yes, it's personal awareness. So for me, I understand that I have a personality order. I never called it a disorder.
I like that
because
it's not a disorder,
right? It's like I have to access this right now in this space.
Yeah,
I need her.
And just
girl, it is horrible.
I need her
because I'm still that friend,
and I'm gonna love you, but I need her right now.
Right.
You know, and even I know once we was talking about when women have masculine energy, I was trying to get rid of my masculine energy, and he was saying, well, that's a part of who you are, and I embraced that because I was like, yeah, because I had to come up with this masculine part of myself for certain scenarios that I was in, and it assisted me. Yeah. So I'm not going to do away with it. I would like not to have to use it all the time, but it is there.
It's there
for if I need to access it. And I am grateful for it now more so than trying to push things away.
Yeah.
Be grateful for the things that you've created, because that's why we're here. We survived so much because we was able to grab a certain personality to get through certain things.
And it had to happen.
Right. And it goes back to the control, the awareness, being able to identify. Because again, they always talk about those triggers or those traumas, that happened when we were children. We built and established these defense mechanisms. Mm-hmm. And then you become an adult and you still are using them unaware that you're using them. So they saved you as a child and allowed you to continue to progress through life. But now you're an adult and now you have to be aware and say, oh, like you were saying earlier, this is a trigger for me, and this is why I would before respond this way. This is why I went from 1 to 20
out of nowhere.
And then you understand, and now you get that control. And I would say to her, like, now I can make an adjustment. No one even knows I've made an adjustment because I'm in full control. I know hearing something and certain things, and then you start to navigate differently. So now you know certain events or certain just people at times they might especially family, like family knows how to hit them triggers because they watched you grow, so they know all the things. They've seen you go through stuff. They've been a part of the shit that you've gone through. Right. So no one can trigger you as well as family can at times.
They can go
to. And so it's understanding.
Oh, I done cut them off.
you
I'll
cut
you off in a second. Yeah, they had to go.
Your peace and serenity is the most important thing. And if you don't have that, then you're struggling.
Gotta go.
So if misery loves company, people that are going through shit or who life is not what they've expected it to be, or the outcome of the results, they don't want to see Katrina expand and grow. They rather you be down here in the gutter with them because now they're not alone.
Yeah, exactly. Misery
Nobody
needs
wants
company.
To be alone. Yeah. Exactly.
And they want to see you do good, just not better than them.
Always.
That's why they won't support you in your businesses.
That's why
family will not come to you. Your best friends will not come to you. Yeah. It's everyone that's right on that next step out that will help. Because me personally, I'd rather go to a friend or a family member for something that I'm getting out the store.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, don't rely on your friends and family.
Yeah.
Don't do it. They will not share a single thing. It's free.
It's something.
Yeah.
People are. That's why I love, like I always say, people are amazing to me. Like I love watching, observing, and interacting with people. But people are hectic too at the same time. Like it's a lot that comes with, we are the most destructive of all animals, but we're the most creative, the most intellectual, the most loving, all of these things, but it's a good and bad to all of us.
Yeah, it really is. Like my 1 through 5.
Yeah.
It's an order. You got it.
It's an order. And I love the order because I'm able to pinpoint, and I'll find myself talking to myself.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm like, all right.
They say the most intelligent people talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Just
see, there you go.
See, everything we learn. Everything they said was crazy, really is sane.
And everything that I was already feeling is what's real.
Yeah.
I was just told it was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
And people can't always comprehend. So your level of thinking might be at a higher level than theirs, and you're speaking to things that they just can't comprehend. So instead of them trying to have an open mind to understand it, they just push back. And like, no, what are you talking about? No, you sound crazy. It's like, no, you just can't comprehend what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's okay. Everybody's not going to be able to because you're just on another level. So, and it's getting that understanding as well. And you start to realize who you can have certain conversations with and who you cannot.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You just keep people in those lanes.
That also makes me think about like the complex that we have in our communities about telling folks that they're strong. Like I've been told I was strong since my grandma died. but no one talked to me about it.
Right.
You know, I was with her every day, you know, all the time. And no one lended me a helpful hand. Nothing. You know, so I lashed out. You know,
that's because you were strong. That's why I was telling you.
But that's a burden.
To be strong.
Burden. Yes, to be the strong one, because the strong one can never be weak.
Yeah.
The strong one can never have a problem that she can't get herself out of.
Well, we interpret it as the strong one can never be weak.
But that's what it feels like.
Yeah. So
every time I went to someone, it was always, you know, you're the strong one, you'll make it through, or you always find a way, so it's okay. Like my own brother, like he never saw me cry a day in his life.
Yeah.
And my mom had a what's it called, a tracheostomy, and I'm always helping, and I couldn't help her, and she was in the hospital, and all she could do was cry. So I lost it. I went, you know, I talked to my brother, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I started crying, broke down for the first time in his life. He has never seen me cry.
He didn't know what
break
to do.
down. He didn't know what to do. And the only thing he said was, "It's okay, Trina, you're the strong one. You'll find a way." I went for comfort.
Yeah. So
no one's ever there.
Never. That happens, because I've been in those situations where revealed their vulnerable side with someone in a moment, and they look again, because they look at you as the strong one, and they're just like, oh, you'll be all right, or they don't even hear it in the conversation keep going. But something I found was, as I've gotten older, is that I started to communicate with those who had a direct impact on me, but they didn't know, because I didn't speak about it and talk about it. So like my brother, for instance, had a special part of my life, and it was like, let me say these things. And I remember I was talking to a cousin of mine, and she was the one who expressed to me, you should, because we're real close, and she was like, you should let people know, especially some of our older family members who are not aware of their impact on, my life, and just letting them know. And it's like, okay. And it's really just the communicating part, which is difficult, going back to the throat chakra. We have this skill and this ability to talk. When that was good.
I was going to bring us back.
We do. Yeah. I had it up, so I was going to go back to it. But that, communication is, it's the simplest thing, but it's the most difficult thing. Because one thing I know for myself, and I know I've seen in others, is, we live in our heads. There's so much that goes on within our heads with our thoughts. And when you're interacting with someone, you got all type of thoughts going through your head. And sometimes something comes up, you're like, oh, I'm not going to touch on that, or I'm not going to speak to this. But sometimes it's like you need to. And the most uncomfortable, especially, I think we all had kids here sitting down. I used to tell mine, like talking to them about sex and talking to them about drugs and other things. And, your child is just like, they sitting there like they don't want to hear this. And I would say to mine, look, don't think this is easy conversations for me. I don't want to have to talk to you about this either. This is difficult, just as difficult it is for you to hear your dad talk to you about this. It's just as difficult for me to get up the energy and the strength to sit down and actually speak to you and make it personal, where I give you examples of myself.
And not confrontational.
To like understand, right.
It's hard, just, man.
It is.
Like my daughter is 20. Right. And, she got this little dude that she talking to. And it's actually a boy from school that she went to high school with that I saw coming based on what I was hearing about the both of them. It was crazy. Again, I'm everybody's mama. So I'm going to hear everything. So, and I had to remind her, I had you on the pill. You may have passed that 19-year-old, threshold of having a baby like I did and how my mom had me. But, baby,
it's real.
You were that 0.1%.
Tell them. But those are things they need to hear.
No, they have to hear
kids
it.
Don't see parents as ever being young, ever being teenagers.
They don't want to see that.
Rowdy and unruly. Like they don't see us like that, because they put us on a platform that's like untouchable at times. And it's like, no, I'm tainted just as you are. Once we all come into the world and the world touches us and we have to interact and deal with every day. You're no longer as pure, if you want to use that word, as you were when you was first born. Now,
it's different.
Because the world is nasty.
Right. It is horrible. And I see her breaking sometimes. I'm like, girl, the world ain't touched you yet.
Talking about that, today, this morning, my oldest, he's at Winston-Salem State University, and he came home last night. And I gave him a hug. I was like, It was different. I was like,
oh, when you hugged him.
It was different.
His energy.
It was different. And so I slept on it. I got up this morning and I went in this room. I was like, I'm about to make some breakfast. You want anything? He was like, what you making? You know. And then I told him, he was like, well, just make me some eggs. I'll be good with eggs. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm walking down the steps and I was like, he's having sex.
He's totally. We always know. Oh my gosh, we always know.
So I called his dad and I was like, hey. He was like, why you calling me? Like, basically, why are you calling me this early? I never call him at, like it was early. And I was like, didn't mean to bother you, but is her having sex? And he was like,
oh my God.
He was like, what made you say that? He hadn't said that to me. And, he was like, did you ask him? I was like, you gonna have to ask him. Right. But I think he is. I have this feeling. He was like, okay, I ask him later. I was like, okay, thank you. But it's a feeling that you,
he got that walk.
Girl, I know the feeling. Yeah. I knew when my daughter did it. I was like, you little whore.
Kids don't understand as the parent because you watch them grow from laying on your chest to, them getting into every little thing. I remember when my daughter, I had the conversation with my daughter and my goddaughter at the time, and they both denying it. But I'm like, I'm trying to make it to where the door is open because I know. But it was so funny because then when they told me, they both told me when they were 19. Mm-hmm. We were all talking. They were like, yeah. And then they told me when. And I was like, so I was right.
Yeah, you was right. Like, yeah.
But then to hear them say yes just hit me. I was like, oh baby.
Oh my God.
But again,
it hits y'all differently. It does hit y'all differently.
It's just
it hit me. I was not ready for that feeling or that emotion. I didn't even know that happens. Yeah, so I was trying to figure out.
You have to watch the show with
what
Blackish.
It was.
On Blackish, he knows when his son, because the son comes in strutting, like just moving. He's not saying nothing. He's just moving a certain way. And he looking, and then he looks at his dad, which is the son's grandfather, and he's like, yeah. Like,
oh my God. See, you know what? I think, but when it's a girl, it's
it's just like, oh baby, because again, you think about, for me, it's like, you think about, I think all men kind of go through this when they have a daughter. You think about your actions at that age and where your mind was at that age. Again, because kids forget that we were their age at one time.
Yeah.
And the mindset at 18, 17.
It's just, you're making adult decisions. It's like you're making adult decisions. Oh, it could get you in some situations.
Yeah, it really can.
Yeah.
Especially in today's culture.
Yeah. It's different. It's so different. Yeah. So I had that whole thing. It was
it's so awkward.
That happened this morning.
Has
I'm sorry.
Talked to him yet?
I don't know. Okay. I have no clue.
We're going through that right now.
Yeah.
Because for him, he knew my kids before we even got together because we were best friends for like 3 years.
Okay.
So he already knew my kids because my kids were always on set. So, and ironically enough, of course, I mentioned that their father is here in Greensboro, but they're so much closer. It's so, it's not weird, but it's unfortunate that even is able to happen. But I'm grateful for him because he's able to bond with them like that. So when he sees this very large boy come in here, because he's like 6'6" and he's a big boy, and my daughter is super tall, like they're just two tall people. And we're just like, and he's looking at them like, I gotta talk to this little mother. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it be.
Because he's just like going in the room with my daughter, and I know what I was thinking at this age.
Yeah,
at the mama house. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's like, what are we
this
gonna
is all
because I met him.
Yeah,
and, I tried my best not to be that way,
right?
Because they always bring their boyfriends to me, but my daughter has never had one that she actually brought to me before. She waits, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because I always want to know. And I'm like,
It's good that she eventually does bring them around because it would be an issue if she wasn't bringing them around.
I want to look at them.
They hold you at a high regard.
Right.
Because
so
I'm reading.
Then you got to make sure.
I'm reading.
You sometimes, you go through bringing around anybody. Yeah.
I'm always last.
My mama's serious. She's real.
Right.
She going to probe you a little bit.
You now.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at
then
you.
You're going to tell the chakras off. And
right. You know what I'm saying?
Give them some
crystals. I'm like,
I need you to go sit out in the car.
Yeah, you know
your energy is off. I need to sage you.
Because I'll say it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it to the person, like, I don't like him.
Right.
And that person always does something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, our intuition always tells us, but I'm not the one that's in it. And I especially hate it when, like, my friends tell me about their boyfriends. I'm like, don't tell me nothing you want me to hate them. Because I will.
Yeah.
Because he ain't piping me down at night. I'm still hating him. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, my.
No, you're fine. Piping me down.
Because you telling me everything, and I'm feeling the pain.
You need to keep it positive if you want me to still.
Because I'm gonna look at him sideways tomorrow, like.
Yeah, I think that's another thing. We're gonna get back to the throat chakra, but that's another thing women need to start thinking about when they, because we do talk a lot amongst each other, but you got to keep it at a balance. You shouldn't be talking negatively about whoever. If you're not
at the point to walk away, I agree with that.
Yeah,
you're at the point to walk away.
Right, because now you got everybody around you feeling a certain type of way about this certain individual, and you're going to still stay.
Yeah. That's the difference. So men and women I would say the higher percentage of men and women. Men don't really talk about the relationship with another man.
Y'all were never allowed to.
So
that's the problem.
Well, part of
and I hate that for y'all.
You come up in that, and two is just we don't like talk about our relationships. It's just it's like my relationship is my relationship. When I'm with my boys, it's just about that, and I don't talk about what's going on.
But y'all need an outlet too.
We do.
Because girls are raised differently.
People who are.
It's so sad. We as a community need to do better.
I don't know. Because my cousin, Julio, he was raised around. Names. Yeah. Because I was showing this clip. I was showing this clip. That's why I did it. I was like, my cousin. I was like, no, I'm gonna show him this clip. He was raised with 4 females. It was and he was the only male. Oh yeah,
look how you said all the women,
and it has worked for him. Like he knows how he's a ladies' man because he knows women, and at the same and so at the same time, he is very vocal. He with his boys, whomever, because he was not taught that you did not have conversations in like a man group.
Right.
So if he's around dudes, he's gonna be talking about like his. Whatever he's going through, he's going to be talking about that. So I do think all men are not raised.
Yeah, all men aren't raised
that way. But majority are like solid when it comes to. But I don't know. He might got a little bit too much talking. Sometimes, like, I don't even want to hear all this.
Right.
I can't wait to show him this clip. But okay, so we was on the throat chakra.
We finished the throat. We did finish the throat.
We did.
Okay.
Communication.
And what was the color?
Blue.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, but he interrupted me before I went.
It's like a light blue. I'm sorry.
Color. I know we said light blue.
Okay. So then we have our third eye. That's located right in between.
What is it?
The third eye.
Third eye.
So third eye is our intuition. It's like one of my favorites because, I practice, divination. So for me, everything is coming from my power of intuition. Mm-hmm. And that color is indigo. And then we have purple at the top. It's our crown. That is our enlightenment and our connection to the divine.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you always start from the root and work your way up.
Which makes
not
sense
the other way around.
Yeah.
Because your enlightenment is last. It's when you're fully committed and connected to the divine.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if this has a connection to do with the aura that people exude. Mm-hmm. Some people could see auras around individuals. I wonder if that has something to do with the colors that they implemented.
It does.
Okay.
Slightly.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our own individual color of our aura, but you do tend to see, especially in meditation. Mm-hmm. But as far as your actual aura fields, it's subjective. It depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people see rainbows.
Right.
It's like full enlightenment. That's what I get from it. That's in full enlightenment. But individually, just depends.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I do know you do the sound baths during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us what days and times that we can tune in?
So I do Vibe on Saturdays. I started that at the beginning of the summer. Vibe means vibrations for the community.
Okay.
And it's free. Although I do accept love offerings, it is free. And I started it for a couple of different reasons. The first reason was to hold myself accountable, to make sure I'm giving myself my own therapy. Again, with how we forget about ourselves. And the park is the best place for me. There's this park off of West Market Street called the Greensboro Arboretum. I feel like I'm always saying that wrong. And I usually give it in the gazebo.
I think I say it different.
Is it? Because I
say arboretum.
Arboretum.
Is that the one with the?
I'm probably.
It's like a basketball court and a playground, and the other side
and
is
the baseball field on the other side, and you have the little trail that goes around with the big old bells,
the arch and the big bells. Yeah. So I give it on the other side of the entrance of the park.
Okay.
People always come and go on the wrong end. They have to walk all the way. I'm like, no, I give instructions to make sure you come and follow the address that I give you, not the address that the internet will, because I pinpointed my location. My daughter's like, Mama, just use your pinpoint location. I'm like,
thank you.
Oh, she get on my nerves. Oh my God.
The way she said it was as if you was done.
Like I'm stupid.
Yeah. I just didn't know that I could do that. Okay.
Right. I'm like, girl, shut up. I built you. You're welcome. So, the other reason I do it is to bring awareness to our community. Okay. Because if we don't know about it, we don't know about it.
Exactly.
And a lot of us don't. I know I didn't. I wish I had. I had no clue of this whole part of the journey where you can use sound and different frequencies to heal the body. I did not know. Yeah. I don't know how, but I just didn't. So I said, if I didn't know, I'm pretty sure that others don't know.
Right.
You know, we're just involuntarily ignorant sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I do it just for free because not everyone can afford the service.
And you want to make sure you get out there.
I want to make sure you get out there.
That's a true healing.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's trying.
Well, you
because I'm constantly always.
Well, you're not looking for payment, but in return,
it comes. It comes.
It comes.
It comes.
Yeah.
Like oh my gosh, there was one time. It was eye opening because a friend of mine, you know, she was like, I see us doing this one day. And it was a clip from a retreat where the woman was giving Reiki and it was really like super crazy. It was dramatic. And the women were like going nuts and screaming and stuff. I was like, I don't want that problem. All I know is that feels like a lot of energy that I don't want to harness. And, you know, I didn't want it, but it happened to me.
It did.
And I realized I was stronger than I thought I was because I felt the energy pass, but it wouldn't stay. And it was just past life traumas that she was dealing with. And it showed that day in the park. I was so scared because people were walking by and it's a public park and she was like screaming, speaking in tongues. It was very dramatic and very comparable to an exorcism. And I'm not gonna lie, the first couple of seconds I was terrified. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't want no parts in this, you know? And I was like, I'm scared, but then I instantly knew what to do. But then unfortunately I almost passed out twice. Because I was using my own energy to treat her. And I was like, okay, I need to take a break for a second. Reiki. And I got it right. You can't do that. But I wasn't ready for that day. I don't practice Reiki in Vibe Unity. You know, so I had to constantly go right. So you have to tap in, you have to tap in and you got to draw your symbols and make sure you get your boost. So I had to ground myself multiple times and tap into Reiki so I can tap into life force energy and not my own. And from that point, it got much better. But it was just a very eye-opening experience. Because I didn't think that I had the capability to do that. Because you can feel the energy. I felt it. But it couldn't stay.
Did you keep in contact with your clients? Like for that certain woman?
Oh, I have to.
Okay.
It's irresponsible not to. Okay. even with Vibe Unity, I used to bring all the bowls. But I realized after phone calls and inboxes of like different people like panicking because when you open someone up in so many different ways at one time, it's overwhelming. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is irresponsible. So I had to bring it down. So every week I bring the root bowl.
Because just think of it like this. It's like, okay, turn into a radio station of, okay, just imagine if you was only listening to hip hop music, and then you tune somebody into this country. It's too much. It's like, turn it off. And that's exactly what the different
and it starts to feel
is.
like static.
Yes. Yeah. So you do have to gradually take people over. Yeah.
So it comes with responsibility to make sure that I'm giving everyone what they need in moderation. Because I bring the root ball every week. Because no matter what time you come in throughout the month, you'll have that initial grounding power, no matter what you're working on. Because I always say that root is the most important. So the first week of the month, I bring the root ball, sacral, and solar. Then the second week, I bring root, heart, and throat. The third week, I bring root, third eye, and crown. Okay. And the fourth week is like miscellaneous. It's like whatever, anyone wants. And there's a fifth week, I do the same.
And you do it once a week?
Once a week, every Saturday at 11 o'clock. I say 11 because we'll be on CP time. Okay. But I don't start until 11:30.
Okay.
But usually it's really good because I did it throughout the entire summer. And I had usually anywhere between 10 and 17 to 18 people.
That's good.
It was a lot because I do the bowls and then I also bring the corresponding tuning forks because the bowls are designed to unblock the chakras. And the intent with the tuning forks is to open what was just unblocked. Okay. So once I got the tuning forks and knew how to use them, I said, ooh, we could do full service without doing everything. Like one week I forgot I brought the wrong tuning fork for the throat chakra. Somehow I picked up the wrong tuning fork. So I had to do Reiki to open it. So that session actually took a lot longer. Yeah. Because I had to go and tap in real quick and come back and do everyone. And that day was like a lot of people there. So it took a little longer.
Okay. I have to join you.
It's good.
Yeah, I have to come. So your social media handles, is it the same for, do you have two different ones? Like for
I have my personal page.
Okay. So whichever one you want to give out.
So I do have separate pages. Okay. Soulfidence is the metaphysical shop where I make all the jewelry. So that's that. So it's soul_fidence. Soulfidence is like confidence in your soul. And the actual definition is to be comfortable and confident through one's spiritual journey. And it's for everyone's walk of life. So I'm not just, it's not just for a spiritual being.
Right.
It's for everyone. And I especially love Soulfidence because I'm from San Diego, y'all, and we're very diverse. And to come out here and have everything so tight knit and clicky, it's really disheartening for me.
Yeah.
So when I had my shop at the flea market and I saw so many different faces, it was really cool. Like, cause I see everyone, and it's like one little box of crayons. Like it was super dope. So for me, that's what that is. And intuitive hands is the healing. So it's the Reiki, the sound therapy, the divination. That's what that's for. And the actual hands are my hands because I naturally gather energy and do this. And I said, I said, that'll be cool. So I make my own logos and my own promos, do all that stuff myself because I ain't paying nobody to do something I know I can do.
That's good.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because you are creative. So might as well do it. Very well. So before we exit, I do need you to sign the table. Don't have a marker. I might have to get you to do it another time.
Aw.
Okay.
I want to say something too. I'm writing a book.
Yeah. Please.
Yes, I'm writing that book, man. That's
Can you share that? I'm gonna go get the marker first. And
so actually a few years ago. I'll wait.
Okay.
So the book.
Oh, the book.
Is the book already done or are you working on it?
No. See, I had started the book, I'm going to say around 2018 or 19. Forgot which one it was.
Right before the pandemic was
Yes, right before the pandemic. So I started writing the book as my form of therapy. It was called Naked, Spiritually Naked, Naked Me. And it was like my form of therapy. I was like, I ain't about to go see no therapist, because in our community, that's what we think. I ain't about to go see no therapist, And I started writing the book and started remembering things I blocked out.
Oh.
And it was heavy.
Yeah.
It's that compartmentalization that backfired. I put that book down. I went through 8 months of therapy.
You went at therapy.
8 months of therapy. And I decided that now I feel like I'm more equipped to write it and unpack and process. And I'm picking it back up and I'm going to separate it into 3 separate books. The first book is called Naked, and it's going to document why I am the way that I am as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be my shadow work on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way that I want to write it and the structure of it. I don't want to write all of it at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's annoying for me to read. I'm a dyslexic girl. And I'm just like, I'd rather the format be more so like a poetry book.
Okay.
It won't be poetry, but it'll be, structured that way.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps it from just being a bunch of words. Just I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to separate it. And Spiritually Naked will document my spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
And Naked Me will be where I am at that current moment, wherever I'm at.
Yeah. I like
so
that.
I decided to do it that way.
So the 3 parts.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. I got a lot to say.
Wait.
There's going to be some folks real upset with me, but I don't care.
Love
You
it.
shouldn't have did it.
There you go.
Oh, they're going to be real mad.
Just don't use their names. If you use their names, you got to get
I love the face.
you got to
love
get
the face.
consent if you use their names. Just like when you're acting, you got to get photo consent form.
All right, fine.
There
I'll change the letter.
you go.
Right. One letter.
I'll change one letter. Because I was like, you shouldn't have did it if you didn't want me to talk about it. And now I'm ready to talk about it and they're going to know who you are.
All right.
Yeah. You may have some folks fooled, but I'm tired of that mask you keep carrying.
Mm-hmm. Let them carry their own mask. Yeah. This is their journey.
Why you gotta do me like that? Because I really just want to tell it. See, that's 5. That's 5 going like that.
I'm gonna tell everybody.
I'm gonna tell it. I guess I can use some sort of something. I guess.
But we want you to sign this table, and I want to
Oh.
video you doing it. So
that's fine. Any place you want to get.
Hold on. Let me get my camera ready.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
We appreciate you coming.
No, I have fun.
Yeah.
And I love spreading the word about healing, man. We need more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we really do.
All right. Got Katrina in the building.
Where you go? What do we do, George? What do we do?
All right. Right here.
Dang.
Serious.
This is not supposed to be a life decision. Like, what am I doing?
No
Are you gonna put Jean
pressure.
or are you gonna
Right.
put Katrina Jean or because I know. Okay,
It's all big.
that's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
We had one guest draw a picture and it just
Oh, that wasn't
depends.
already there?
Nah.
That's Joseph. You know Joseph Wilkerson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why does that look like him? Okay.
Use the eyes down.
That's Joseph. He drew a home picture. Look like that in the peace sign. Yeah, he was on the show.
Wow.
Let me see. We got T. Walker, the Soul Society. I don't know, T. Walker and Born King.
I'm the worst with names.
Like you gotta really follow them. They're doing a lot with the alkaline water in the community.
I do. He was here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've reached out to him, and I've been meaning to have like a real conversation.
Mm-hmm. You should. Yeah, you should definitely. They're doing some good things. Who else is up here that you probably will know? I can't even make out the signature, so I can't read.
I don't think Darlene didn't sign.
Darlene didn't sign because we didn't have the table. I'm gonna have to bring Darlene back. But you briefly know Darlene from the artist block, but I don't think y'all
I think I remember the name, but I don't think I know her personally.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. But like I said, it was wonderful having you on the show.
I said having you too, like you came to my spot.
Yeah. But next time you're gonna bring the bowls.
Yes.
So we can have like a session.
You don't follow your intuition because I did.
That's why
have a session.
That means you got to come back for another.
Yeah,
that's all that means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did want to hear it. I checked you out when you do the lunch break, and I was like, oh, she's good because I know the bowls are really hard to do. A lot of people don't know that.
It's easy.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, you got it. Like it sounds really, really good. Are you on YouTube as well? I'm
thinking about doing a YouTube. I just now ventured out to TikTok, and I'm just like, my daughter's like, Mommy, you got to do a TikTok.
Look, because I look at the ones, the sound baths on YouTube, and it's really, I like it. You know?
I'm thinking about doing that because I do hour-long sound baths at the Culture Center downtown every Thursday from 7:30 to 8:30. But I'm thinking about cutting that because it looks like a lot of people want to come, but they're tired. and they don't want to come out, and then the weather is getting cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just doing
remote.
Virtually.
Yeah. And then when the summer or the spring hit back up, you can go back into the Cultural Arts Center.
Well, no.
I
figure when I...
Are you paying for the space over there?
Yeah, I'm paying for the space, but it's kind of... I mean, I'm not paying a lot because I'm in this program called CAP.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot, it's like, but I'm still paying for it and not using it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is not it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Vibunity, I'm trying to figure out a way around Vibunity. Katrina loves being outside, but I don't do cold and wet.
Yeah.
So
cold weather. I'm gonna stay in. Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't but so much longer we can continue Vibunity, but I'm trying to find a way. Because my office now is not big enough to hold that many people. Like I have a space, but it's just not. It's not big enough for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Individual, yeah, but not more than 3.
Well, I want to say thank you guys for watching another episode of BroadbeltSpeaX.
Yeah, and always when Flux Studios in the basement with our 2 decades internationally known engineer. Kurt. What? What's the name of that?
She didn't realize that it was cameras this whole time. She thought it was just audio.
I was talking, and y'all didn't look over there not one time.
No?
Like, not one.
Yeah. She was like,
you were talking. I was like,
yeah, it's on the face.
She's like, why she's looking over there? It's over the camera, girl.
You know, I can't hide my freaking face.
That was so funny because I see your eyes. She was like, "Why is she looking? Is she looking at a camera?" Yes. Yes. Thank you, Creative Flux Studios, and we are out. That is so fun. I'm gonna take that pen for you.